welcome to another edition of AH Live, and we've reached episode 120. So crazy to say that. Thanks so much for tuning in. We're back from the road, and we're actually off for a couple of weekends. It's crazy. Seems like we've been on the road nonstop, which is awesome. We enjoy it so much. We really appreciate y'all coming out to the shows. It's such a blast. We spent this last weekend in Alabama. We had two shows. We had one in Montgomery and one in Huntsville, and appreciate both of those events for having us. It was so much fun. We'll talk about it later. So we're off for a couple weeks. Next up is Durham. Hope to see you at the Vroom VIP Fest October 6th. And I think we have 5 shows in October. We've got Catalina Island coming up. We've got the Myrtle Beach Jazz Fest. We've got the Jazz Rendezvous in Jacksonville, North Carolina. We've got the AZ Jazz Fest in Phoenix. And then we finish up our month of October in Oakland at Yoshi's, October 27th. We want to see all of our NorCal people there. Bay Area, NorCal, Central California, whatever you want to call it. You guys have been asking. We're there. So we need y'all to come through October 27th at Yoshi's. So I was thinking about what to do today. I definitely wanted to throw a new tune in the batch and keep it fresh. And I see all of these posts talking about, you know what day it is? It's the 21st of September. So I think you know where I'm going with this. You guys all know the tune. I need everybody singing along, hand claps, dancing. You know what it is. A little bit of EWF for you. Oh my goodness, that was a workout. A little bit of Earth, Wind and Fire. Just to get us going on the 21st of September. You know what it is. You know what day it is. So as I mentioned, we had an awesome time hanging out down in Alabama. We're going to talk about that. We got Kat Holly in the house. We're going to chat about our journeys through Alabama this past weekend. And also Kat was out last week. So we'll get her perspective on the previous week as well and what she's been up to, her travels. So she's in the house. But before we do that, I wanted to share a video. It actually popped up in my feed today. And I was like, well, we have to show this. It's so cool. Friend of the show, amazing flautist, Kim Scott. Now, you probably already know I mentioned it a few times. I had the honor of producing her last single. She's got a new one out right now. But her last single, Shine, which is the title track to her new album, we co-wrote together, and I had the honor of producing and mixing, and it features Blake Aaron. Well, she was on TV performing this tune in Alabama. It's so cool. So I pulled the video down. I wanted to share it with you. It's her live in studio. It's pretty cool. But real quick, before we get to that, I'll just throw this up. We appreciate you guys all of these last, I think, 2.5 years now. So if you want to support the show, click that link in the description. PayPal, Cash App, Venmo. You can do stars. And we appreciate you guys so much. You're the best. You're the reason we're here, episode 120 and strong. So as I mentioned, we got Kat in the house. But before we go to Cat and Hat, we're going to have fun watching this video. Kim Scott in studio playing her title track from the new album. This is Shine.
Taking our Gadsden sky cam this morning. A little rainy out there, but we're letting the sun shine in this morning on Talk of Alabama. On this wet and rainy Friday morning, today's Pepsi Concert Series artist will lift your spirits. Born and raised in the Magic City, beautiful, magnetic, and humble, both her and her talent. Recently named Breakout Artist of the Year by the Smooth Jazz Network. A 3-time #1 Billboard charting artist who just dropped her new 2022 album, Shine, this morning. On our Pepsi concert stage, the very popular smooth jazz recording flutist, Kim Scott, playing Shine. Find complete album details at kimscottmusic.com.
It's the one and only Kim Scott. As I mentioned, I was scrolling through Facebook and that popped up. I thought that was so cool, and she sounds killer. Just as good, if not better, live than on the recording. So shout out, Kim. Appreciate you having me on the project. It was so much fun producing that tune for you. And we ran into her on Saturday in Montgomery as well. So we'll talk about all of that with the one and only Cat Holly on the Cat Cam. Let's bring her in right now. Hi.
Sorry.
What's going on?
Nothing, just, writing these comments down.
Yes. Well, we missed you last week. It's hard work trying to do all the things I usually do, plus your duties as well. Then the internet went down. And then, of course, a bunch of people commented, we need Cat back. Cat didn't fix the internet, but I think it was just bad luck to not have you here. So you're back.
Oh, thank you.
We missed you. Good to have you
hold
back.
on.
Okay. It's her first show in like 6 weeks, so she's gonna get it.
I'm like maneuvering things around. Sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. But wasn't that cool? Kim Scott live
Yeah.
in action with Shine.
I know, that was so neat, and she looked cute too.
She did, yeah. And I saw a couple people comment. They said they saw DJ Strickland back there, her husband. He was on the side. He was in the shot a couple times.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, I'm gonna hand it over to you. What are the vibes? What are people talking about?
Well, I came in a little late, so I didn't get to see any comments about your hair. But I'm sure there were tons of comments. Oh my gosh, I dropped my pen.
Do you need some help? Let me come get your pen. I'll help
I'm
you.
okay. I have another one.
Oh, okay.
Thank
Look
you.
at you, like a Girl Scout, always prepared, like the Boy Scout.
Yeah. So I'm sure there were comments about your hair because the last few weeks when we've been seeing people in person at the shows, everyone's like, sorry, Kat, but I love Adam's curls. So I'm sure there has been, and your curls have gotten really long since the last in-studio show.
People are clowning, by the way, how I mentioned how we had trouble without you.
Mm-hmm.
Kurt Schmidt said, you should have seen Adam in the kitchen last week. Referring to the Cat's Kitchen segment.
He told me that he juiced while I was away, so that means that he didn't eat.
Right, basically. And then Michelle Wentz said Adam needs his sidekick.
Oh.
Michelle Wentz also said, looking fierce, Ms. Cat.
Oh, really? Thank you.
Yeah, you are good. People missed you, Cat.
Oh.
Anyways, go ahead.
Terry Silva says, Kat, I'm with you. You're with me with what? What did I say? Deborah Childs Baker says, yes, Team Curls. But so many people loved your opening number. Do you remember?
September. 21st of September. Yeah, a little bit of Earth, Wind. Yeah, because it'd been a little while since I'd done a new tune for you guys. And so I was thinking earlier, I got started on the show early. You know, I always start prep at about 3 p.m. Pacific, about 3 hours before the show. And I was like, let's do a new tune today. And I was kind of looking through some stuff. And then I had been seeing all day all these posts. It's the 21st of you know what. And then I also follow the Earth, Wind, and Fire official page on Twitter, and so they're always posting like every year the run up 2 days until you know what. And so today I was like, of course, gotta do a little bit of September.
I know, so many people loved it. Joyce and Roach said this was our entrance song at our wedding reception.
Oh, wow.
So she and her husband, were dancing into their reception to that song. And Kurt Schmidt says the last day of summer with a sad face emoji.
That is true. Yeah. Although we're in SoCal, it's still pretty nice here. So
it is. Although I can feel it in the morning, I can feel the change, but then through the day, it's still warm.
It's definitely cooled a little bit. However, this weekend it is going to be very toasty. I think it might be some swim time. I was looking at the weather. We're going to be back in the 90s this weekend.
I love it.
In fact, starting Friday, we're going to be in the 90s for 8 days. So, anyways, you can see why we enjoy our SoCal over here.
Right? Robert Crutcher says, I like this version. Talking about your version.
Thank you. Yeah, I like to keep them kind of organic, and so it was literally like a 30-minute arrangement. I found a drum groove that I liked. Then I played the bass. I played the keyboards. I played some rhythm guitar, edited it, mixed it, bounced it, bam. Instant. So it makes it exactly. So it makes it fun. It makes it fun. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed. I had fun too. That'll have to go in the rotation. We'll have to.
And I think it was Joseph England. I saw in the chat. He was like typing body.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
It was so cute, and I probably saw like 15 dancing emojis.
Oh, that's awesome. No, it's such a feel-good tune. Going back to my days of doing corporate gigs, weddings, that was a every time song. Like you had to play that song, and it was always a showstopper. It's such a feel-good tune, And it's crazy too, because songs like that, they get played so much that sometimes people are like, oh, okay, here we go again.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can kind of like remove that for a moment and just listen to it as if you'd never heard it before, it's such an incredible tune. The arrangement, Maurice White's, production, the horn section, the Phoenix horns. Oh, what a killer tune.
Definitely. Terry Silva says, in New England, we have Great Falls. When you coming back to Jimmy's?
I know. Yeah, we got to work that out. Well, let them know. It always helps to let these venues and promoters know that you'd like to see us, because everyone's trying to get booked. We're all out here trying to do as many shows as we can. So, yeah, let Jimmy's know you want to see us there, and we would love to come back. Definitely.
And then George, I said his last name once, but is it Nial or Niale or just Neil? He says, you laid that down in a few hours. Wow, impressive.
I think it's Neil. I think it's just there's an E, but
okay.
But
George
he'll let us know, I'm sure.
Yeah, you'll let us know, George.
Oh, Joyce said, how was the Publix? The Publix, so maybe you didn't tune in last week, but I talked about the Publix. No. It was so good. Thank you, Jan Ham. Oh, my goodness. It was so good. I thought about this last week, and I was like, should we go back one more time? Because we actually had a little trouble finding, and this is not a condemnation on the state of Alabama or Montgomery or Huntsville. Just for whatever reason, we just kept not having stellar meals until we went to Waffle House. Waffle House was
Waffle House
killer.
And Starbucks were about the only decent meals that I had.
Yeah. Well, we picked a restaurant that was highly rated. It ended up not being, our appetizers were good and our drinks, but the entrees left something to be desired. And then
and because I first ordered shrimp and grits for my entree, and as soon as they put it down on the plate, I could smell. It smelled like as if the shrimp wasn't good. It smelled like feet. And so I just took one little bite of the grits, and I was like, it just didn't taste right. So I sent it back and got another fish entree, which I don't know, was it
halibut?
It was halibut. So I asked the waitress, I said, what is with it? And she told me. And I just wanted to also make sure there wasn't mushrooms, because I'm allergic. And sometimes, a lot of people put mushrooms with like certain gravies for fish. So I get it, and I'm like taking a bite of it. And under the fish is like huge chunks of bacon. And I'm like, why would you put land animal with a sea animal entree unless it's like surf and turf? And so it just was not good. And the flavor too was no bueno.
What are you gonna do?
But it was highly rated. Everyone else seemed to be enjoying their food.
Yeah, I mean, I had the wings, and the wings weren't like stellar. They weren't not good, but they weren't great either. So the best part of it was the appetizer. It was a catfish dip and kind of fancy crackers. That was really tasty.
Good, yeah.
And then we had fried green tomatoes. That was tasty. So yeah. Anyways, we're on a tangent because we're talking about Publix. So we probably should have went to Publix this last weekend. We would have been in great shape. But yeah, the Publix last week when we were in Birmingham was amazing. So thanks again one more time to Jan. It was incredible and very much enjoyed. That night and the next morning. I don't know. It's like that chicken is so good. You can have it for breakfast. It would be
I'll
good
let
with
you
some
eat it.
eggs. It'd be good with some eggs. Have some chicken and eggs.
Cece in London is so funny. She says, your language is so funny. Autumn is what the Brits say, and then fall is what Americans say. But there are certain places in America where they both have autumn and fall. Here in Southern California, we barely get a fall. So, but yeah, it is weird. America likes to do everything more difficult. I mean, aren't we the only country that doesn't run on the metric system?
I believe so, yeah.
Difficult.
What are you going to do? What are you gonna do?
And everyone is commenting about my feet smelling shrimp. They say, oh no, not feet.
Nah.
Yeah.
That's not a good sign. It's not a good
And
sign.
so when we were done with our meal, I guess the manager saw that I didn't eat all of my food. He goes, oh, how was the dish? And I said, oh, it was all right. And he's like, well, what was wrong with it? And I kind of wanted to say, well, everything. I just was like, it just wasn't that great. And he was like, oh, I'll let the chef know.
But then he walked the wrong direction. He walked away from the kitchen, not towards the kitchen. So did the chef find out? Probably not. Well, so I'm seeing a lot of people in the comments talking about when are you coming such and such place. So let's throw up the tour schedule. Up next is Durham, North Carolina, the Vroom VIP Fest. By the way, this is a 3-day festival. We're opening it up on Thursday. Also, Ollie Silk, Julian Vaughn, Carol Riddick, and Lynn Roundtree are going to be there as well. So it's going to be a star-studded event. So we hope to see you there. That's in about 2 weeks' time, 2 weeks from tomorrow. So grab your tickets. Then we'll be, as I mentioned, Catalina, Myrtle Beach, Jacksonville, Phoenix, Oakland, October 27th, Yoshi's. Get your tickets. And then also our last show before we get into the Christmas season is at Norfolk at the Attucks Theater. So that's just went on sale last week, the Church Street Jazz Series. So very excited about that. All those dates starting at November 28th and on is the Christmas Tour. Mindy Abair, Vincent Agala, Lindsay Webster, and yours truly. We're doing about 17 dates throughout the U.S., so grab your tickets. Hope to see you all there. And we're already getting working on 2023, so we'll be in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, in January. We've got South, February 2nd, just got confirmed. Middle C, February 3rd. Tin Pan, February 4th. And it's not for sale yet, but if you're anywhere near D.C., circle on your calendar February 5th. We'll be back at Blues Alley. And then a couple weeks ago, Berks got confirmed. Very excited to return to Berks. And then the DK Cruise. And if there's anywhere else you're looking for, let us know. Let the venue or the promoter know because we're working on 2023 actively now, and would be great to see you all out on the road. So that's what's coming up.
Jan Ham says, wow, y'all will be crisscrossing the country.
Definitely. We definitely will.
And everyone is commenting about Publix. Tony Aponte says, I had some Publix spicy chicken wings last week. So good.
This has become, at some point, shouldn't we be sponsored? I mean, we are giving them so much free advertising weekly.
I know. And Kurt Smith said something so hilarious about one of our starters at the restaurant. And he said, cat, K-A-T, fish dip.
Right.
You saw that?
Yeah.
Or are you just not laughing?
No, I did. I'm smiling. Would you like a laugh as well? Ha,
Yes. Oh, Cece in London says, you must be coming over here next, surely.
England's not on the calendar yet, so hit up Jimmy at Pizza Express. Let him know. We've been having people request us there since the beginning, since 2016. So let him know. Let them know.
Joseph England says, AH Live, sponsored by Publix.
I know, pretty much.
Pretty
we
much.
might as well throw up the graphic whether or not we are or not, because
I
it's
know.
become the daily or the weekly fodder.
So funny.
Yeah.
So what did you want to get into next?
So we do have a few pictures from the past couple weeks that I'm going to throw up. Here's the graphic for our next show in Durham. So as I mentioned, we're there October 6th. Carol Riddick and Julian Vaughn, October 7th, and Lynn Roundtree, Ollie Silk, October 8th. So see you in North Carolina, coming up in 2 weeks.
That's a pretty cool flyer.
So here's a cool picture. This is actually from Atlanta at the Mabel House.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally couldn't get into the dressing room because y'all were taking pictures. And I had to wait in the hallway until you finished your photo shoot.
Maggie, Lindsay, and myself. And Maggie and her husband Will, they live in Atlanta. So they're literally, I'm sure you guys all know them. They travel the world following all music. But we see them a lot when we're in Atlanta. And so they came to see Adam and Lindsay, came backstage, apparently brought Lindsay a special delivery of some wine, because when I went, I said, "Oh, where's the wine?" And they were like, "Oh, sorry, we drank it all."
Wow. Well, there you go. There you go.
I was like, "Well, I'll get some later."
Yeah. That's too funny. And then we were rolling deep at Mabel House. We had a ton of fam there, and I think this is the picture with everybody that came out. So
I sent you a bad picture. Sorry.
Really?
A lot of
No,
our
this
eyes
is-
are closed.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. So sorry, the screen is far away, so I'm trying to look at my phone. Okay. So it looks like we've got Tehran, Summer, Portia, Catalea, Taryn, you, me, Mo, Anthony, and Taraya. So and then there's somebody photobombing there in the back, but I'm not sure who that is. So anyways, we were rolling deep, and it was awesome. It was a lot of fun at Mabel House. This was from a couple weeks ago. I think we got a couple more pictures here. Here's you and I and Catalea.
Yeah, so this is Catalea is our youngest niece. So this is my little brother's daughter. So cute.
And let's see. Here's a couple more.
And then here, so Taraya in the center, she's 16, just got her permit for driving. Oh my goodness. And then to the left is Tehran, our nephew, and then to the right is Taryn, our other niece. So these are my oldest sister's kids. As you can see, they're all teenagers now. We're getting so
crazy.
old. I know. Oh, so this was in
Dauphin County, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
And so this is Crystal Brown. Mike and Crystal came and had a really good time at the festival. And this was a birthday gift that they had gotten me. So Crystal, she's wearing these earrings, and she had them on the Dave Cos cruise. And I said, "Oh my God, your earrings are so cute." All you guys know I love earrings, and I can't go anywhere without adding to my collection. And she got me the same pair for my birthday. So it was so cute. So now we're going to have matching pairs.
Yep. And I think they're in the chat. Either they're in the chat or they were commenting earlier today. But I think they're in the chat. Oh, yeah, I see Mike right here. Mike said the least they could do is give you a free 2-piece and a biscuit. Talking about Publix still. We can't get off of Publix. Okay. Anyways, we appreciate the Browns. They're so awesome. We're going to see them in February at South. So, so after the show, we needed something to eat before we got our 2 hours of sleep in the hotel room. So this is highly, highly recommended. We got this to go on the way to the hotel room, finished it up in the room. It's a place called Underground Pizza in Baltimore, because we flew out of Baltimore, even though the show was in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Unbelievable. So these are your two that orders, because mine I think I already ate. I got the pepperoni. It was incredible.
This is what you call the perfect late night after a long day's meal.
Yeah.
Because as you can see, look at all that oil. But we needed it because we hadn't eaten it.
And
I
even
think
though
all
this
day.
was in Baltimore, this was Detroit style pizza. And the one on the right, that's margarita style. It was pretty good, but the one on the left was unbelievable.
That one was called the trifecta, and it had 3 different sauces on it. It just was so amazing. It was full of flavor. It was so good.
Oh, Will and Maggie just tuned in. We just had your picture up, Maggie.
We just had our picture.
Let me go back. Where is it?
Right
there
here.
It is.
Look, there you are. Look how
What's
cute
up,
we
guys?
look.
It was great seeing you last week. We were just talking about you. Okay, so the pizza. This was Detroit-style pizza, even though it was in Baltimore, but it was really killer. So check it out. And what else we got? Oh, here's a really cute picture. I put this up on social media yesterday. This was from Huntsville this past weekend. And either I said something funny or you're humoring me. But thank you for looking at me and smiling. That's nice of you.
I don't know what you were saying. You usually always have some kind of like comment or joke or something when I come on stage.
And not to put on blast, but Joy Russell Nicholas, she commented and said, "Why is there a naked person behind you?" And that's actually a hand. And so you can't see it, but that's the hand. And then if you can imagine to the left of that upwards, it was actually a lady. I believe she was one of the sponsors of the festival. So they had her up there.
But it does like.
No, I totally see what Joy is saying. But just so you know, it's a hand. So this was from Huntsville. Huntsville was so much fun. Shout out to Kenny Anderson for having us. Jazz in the Park, that was our second time there. And really fabulous event. And it was also his birthday the following day. So it was he threw his own birthday party, basically. So it was pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. And then, this is why, I'll let you take it from here. This is why Kat missed AH Live last week. So go ahead.
This is why I missed last week. So sorry. I actually was like on a plane coming home. I thought I would make it. But I went to Hawaii to my girlfriend, Heidi. You guys all know Heidi. You guys have met her through photos, her and her husband. She and her husband, Ruben. She has her own permanent makeup business. So she does permanent eyebrows, lashes, waxing, and lips and stuff like that. So when we were there in June for vacation, she had did my eyebrows, and the service is called Luxury Nano eyebrow tattooing. And so it's very natural looking because it's just like hair strokes. So the tattooing that she does is just fine lines, so it looks like hair. So it looks really natural instead of just like color on my eyebrows.
Yeah.
And I actually have been thinking about it for a really long time, but I was so afraid because, it's permanent for a long time. And but my eyebrows, they just, it was like the longest thing in my makeup regimen to do, and they were kind of like thinning and getting really sparse. So I was like, I need to do something. And I'm so glad I did it. I don't know why I waited so long. And so anyway, I had went for my second session because anywhere from 8 to 12 weeks after the first session, it's better to get a second session, like a second pass through. It just kind of enhances the look and prolongs it. So yeah, I did a day trip and went to Honolulu and saw Heidi, which was really nice. And then, did my service, and then I came home.
Jan Ham says, I need to see Heidi.
You do need to see Heidi. If you go to...
oh, yeah, she's killing it. She has a thriving business out there. She's doing fantastic.
She does. She's doing so fantastic.
You could double dip. You could get your vacation in and see her at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. And her business is called HL Brow Studio. So H like Heidi, L like Lynn. And so HL Brow Studio in Honolulu, Hawaii. And she's amazing. And she does men as well, waxing, grooming. So check her out.
Yeah.
And Jan Ham says it's better than not having any brows permanently. Exactly. That's the goal. Because I'm like, if they're falling out now, then that means that there's going to be no more hair to come out. So we have to get it figured out. Sunny Fink, you look marvelous, Kat. Thank you so much. It looks beautiful. Thank you. And I know a lot of people see permanent eyebrows and they're kind of like crazy. But Heidi does not specialize in that. She's extremely top tier, premier luxury service, and it's very natural looking. And so, as you can see now. And right now, all I did was kind of just add some powder to give it a little darker color, but that's it.
The best was in Montgomery when we ran into Lindsay and, well, you tell it because I don't want to mess up the delivery, but it was pretty hilarious.
So, Lindsay was like, oh yeah, you guys were just on vacation in Hawaii. When did you get back? I think she asked. And I said, oh, it was just me that went, and I was only there for a day. And before I could get that out, she said, a day? I said, well, yeah, because I had to get my eyebrows done. And she was looking at me and she's like, you're like living the life of the rich and famous. She's like, who are you? And I said, no, it's not like that. I said, I had to go get my service.
Well, it was like that, but
no, it wasn't.
just because you say it's not like that doesn't mean it isn't.
It's not. I mean, if you had to go somewhere to get something, I mean, you're going to do what you got to do to go get it.
Yeah, just most people don't go to Hawaii for it. Anyways, I thought that was hilarious when she's like, who are you? So anyway, so this was, I assume this was the view from your room, looks like.
Yeah.
Nice.
View from the room.
And then also you brought some little care package back home.
I did. So I brought some Portuguese sausage. You can, of course, find it in markets here, but I was there. And then, of course, you get the ones that were made in Hawaii. And Adam Jr. loves Portuguese sausage. Whenever we're in Hawaii, that's what he has when we go to breakfast. And he likes to dip it in his syrup, kind of like swirl it around his plate and scoop up,
Yep.
a big dollop of syrup on his sausage. So I went to the market and I had to find an insulated bag for him and kept it in the fridge and in my hotel room overnight and then brought it over. And I made it for him the next morning after I got home, and he just was so happy.
Yeah. No, it was killer. I got to have some too. It was very tasty. Very tasty. Fresh.
Yeah.
The pig was roaming around not too long ago.
And he also likes this loaf cake that's pre-sliced, and it's butter cake. And so every time we're in Hawaii, he makes sure to get some, and he'll eat the whole pack. And so I brought home, I think maybe 5 or 6 little packs for him. I was able to fit some in my carry-on and in my purse. And he was really happy about that because he ate it for breakfast. He had some packed in his lunch for a few days. He had some with his gelato for dessert. So he definitely was feeling all the aloha that I brought back for him.
Well, and you also brought me back some of that incredible hot sauce. What's it called?
I don't even know what it's called.
Oh, it's so good. Oh,
We'll have to show it next time.
what did I have?
Because
I
you
had
guys
it on
can
some.
purchase it
yeah.
online if you like hot sauce, but it's a Hawaiian hot sauce.
Well, what's so great about it, it's got some heat, because I want some heat. I like things spicy, but then it's got flavor to it. It's not just hot. Some
Right.
hot sauces, it's just hot for the sake of being hot. This has so much flavor. You got me a couple. One of them has kind of a tanginess to it, and the other one, I just tasted it a little bit. I haven't tried it on something yet, but it had a mustard type of thing to it. Man, so good. So good.
Yeah, and I'm like that with my salsa as well. I do want heat, but I want flavor.
Yeah, exactly.
And I just don't want a huge sopping portion of just heat and taste like nothing.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So that's kind of what we've been up to. Montgomery was awesome. That was a brand new festival put on by Cedric Allen. He's the same promoter that does Birmingham, Orlando, and Miami. So it was great to finally connect with him. It's great to see Kenny again. And like I said, we're hanging home for a couple weeks. I'm working on music for some different people. By the way, shout out, very excited. My new single, Let's Get Down Tonight, is number 8 this week.
Yeah.
The track I did for Paula Atherton is number 10, and the track I did for Will Donato is number 12. So we've got 3 in the top 12. Plus, Blake Aaron's new tune just came out this week or is already jumped out the gate, Crush. So I feel really fortunate for all the support out there. And just having fun. So yeah, I'll be bunkering down in the studio the next couple weeks, and
I heard Will Donato's song yesterday.
Yeah,
on the
me
radio.
too. Me too. Yeah, I was on the way home from church, and bam, it came right on. So
We have a few. Well, actually, it's from 2 people, but they both named the same hot sauce. It's called Mambo sauce.
We gotta
from
try
DC.
that.
So Robert Crutcher recommended it, and George Neal.
Very cool. Okay, Mambo.
Mambo. Let me write it down.
Yeah, I love hot sauces. We've got quite a few over here.
And we love DC. When we were in Georgetown, Adam was like, "Oh my gosh, we have to come back for a weekend or something and take."
Well,
Adam
yeah, and
Jr.
we'll be there on a Sunday, so maybe we can, maybe we can at least have a late flight Monday and have a little hang. That would be cool. So we'll have to figure it out.
Michael Brown says, "Quick, ask Adam.
Okay.
How many sets of strings do you go through in a year? And how long did it take you, or how long did it take to break them in properly? Or does it take?
Yeah, so I change my strings before every show because I want to have the best chance of getting through the show without breaking a string. Just because, when I'm leading a band and interact with the audience, if I have to take time to change a string, then, either there's going to be like a 2-minute sax solo or something, or a dead time. So to answer your question, how many sets of strings? It's however many shows I have. So this year I've got 62 shows. So it's going to be 62 packs just on this guitar alone. And then, my other guitars I periodically change. Those strings on the other guitars last a lot longer because I don't play them nearly as much. The guitar I play at church, maybe I change those maybe once every 2 months just because I only play that guitar on Tuesdays and Sundays when I'm in town. So those tend to last quite a long time too. But this guitar, brand new pack. So basically what I do is I put them on before sound check, and then that way by playing them through sound check and then warming up, they should be pretty broken in. But that being said, usually after, it's in the second song, I have about 8 measures to tune. Usually my second song's Traveling Mood, so I kind of know exactly that's my moment. I'm going to get to tune. There's an 8-bar sax solo. And usually, just from the heat and everything, I've got to make some adjustments. But yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. So Diodario's getting all my money.
I was just about
well,
to
fortunately,
say,
though, I am endorsed with Diodario,
Yes.
so I do get the strings at artist pricing. But yeah,
but they still get your money.
yeah.
But I was just about to say that you could probably find guitar strings in any room aside from Adam Jr.'s room and Grammy's room in the house.
Right, yeah.
And so-
Or picks. The picks end
or
up
picks,
everywhere.
And
yeah.
then we have boxes in the house of strings, and then boxes in the infamous garage with strings.
Yeah. And actually, when we were in last weekend, I had forgotten to bring strings with me, so I had to go to Guitar Center in I think it was in Birmingham and grab some. Or no, it was in Charlotte. I had to grab some
it was
strings.
Charlotte.
Yeah. So.
Did you tell them about the really good restaurant that we found in Charlotte?
Yes, yeah, we talked about it last week, but one more time, shout out to Haberdish. We went twice. It was so good. We went the night before the show in Charlotte, and we went the night of the show because, that restaurant was amazing. We will be going back next time we're in Charlotte, and we'll be in Charlotte in February, so we're going to have to stop through there.
Is it going to be cold?
I don't know.
So 2 quick Ask Adams. This is from Jan Ham. Says, do guitarists use a special cream or lotion to avoid calluses on their fingertips?
No, actually, you want the calluses because that's what allows you to play and your skin not to get fatigued. So I definitely have calluses on, especially my left hand from, pressing down the strings all these years. I've been playing guitar now for, 20 years? 30 years. Oh, my goodness.
I was looking like, where are you counting?
Yeah. No, I've been playing guitar almost 30 years, 28 years. So, yeah, no, you actually want to play regularly and build up the strength in your fingers and build up the calluses so that you don't have that issue.
And this is from Isabella in Dubai. Says, would you collaborate with a musician or singer from a different country or create music in a different language, like a type of fusion?
Yeah, no, that would be very interesting. And I've worked with many artists as a producer outside of the country. So yeah, always enjoy the collaboration. So much fun. I always use the analogy. It's like a magic trick. It's like pulling a rabbit out of a hat. Let's say I've started a track, a music bed, and then someone picks that and then starts writing to it, and then they send me back their ideas, and it's something I never would have thought of, but it's really cool, and we go back and forth. Next thing you know, you have a song. There was no song, now there's a song. So it's always fun, and regardless if they're here in America or abroad,
Right.
always enjoy collaborating for sure.
So we have one of our friends, Marcel Anderson.
What's up, Marcel?
Marcus Anderson's brother. He's in. Hi. He
Vocalist
says,
extraordinaire.
good evening, lovely couple. Hi. Does he have a show?
Well, he has a new series. Drop the info in the chat, Marcel.
Yeah, drop it
He's
in.
doing a series of shows that he's hosting, So please drop it in the chat. Let people know. Marcel is amazing. So
Amazing
anything that
vocalist,
he's
yeah.
affiliated with is going to be really killer. So
And
make
if
sure you go check it out.
if you guys have been to Marcus's Majace, you've seen him do his thing. If you were on the Dave Cause cruise, you've
Yeah.
seen him. He's great.
Oh, Robert Zahn said, skip my question.
I didn't see it. Let me go back. Let's see. Sorry. So I'm looking for Robert Zahn's oh, right here. I found it. So this is from Robert Zahn. Says, what's up with the singles? How are those chosen? Why some and not others? Can't radio stations and streaming channels play whatever they want on an album? Inquiring minds want to know.
That's a great question. So it depends on your workflow. For me, I always create a full album of songs, 10 songs, and I hand that over to my radio promoter, Jason Goroff, and he picks the singles. I really enjoy that process. Obviously, I have some discretion over it because I make the 10 songs, so it's going to be one of those 10. But then, he's got a really good idea of what's going on with other music that's out there. What, a song of mine that he picks, maybe let's do this type of tune because it'll stand out. There isn't anything like it, etc. If it's summertime, something that's feel good vibes. So that's how it works with Jason. I do work with a lot of artists that say, hey, I want you to produce a single for you. And so, we'll work together to find a tune that would be something viable at radio, and then hand that over to the radio promoter and say, hey, this is the next single, and go from there. So it just kind of depends on if you have a lot of songs for the promoter to choose from, then, it's great to let them choose. And I really believe in having great people around you, and then, trusting their expertise. And so, with Jason, I mean, gosh, I appreciate him so much. Every single we've knocked out of the park. We've had, 11 number ones or something like that. So it's been a really, really, it's been such a blessing working with him. So I just hand him the songs and say, let me know what's coming out. To answer your question about can't stations play whatever they want, can't the streaming services play whatever they want? Yes. However, they're typically not going to play, say, your single and another song without playing your single less. And we don't want that, because the whole way that you move up the charts is by your total amount of spins. It's not a popularity contest. It's literally just hard numbers. How many times was your song played? If you had the most plays within a week, you're the number one song. And then the second most plays is number 2 on Billboard, and so on. So if you've got one station playing this song and then another station playing this, then it's really hard to move up and have that impact of a hit song, because your spins are getting kind of dispersed across different songs. So that's why you really want, and that's where your radio promoter comes in too. They're a unifying voice of, hey, this is the single. We would like you to play this song, and kind of like herding all the cats, as it were.
Hurting all the cats.
Streaming services definitely beat to their own drum, especially Spotify. In my case, they typically have playlisted a song that's not a single. The last 3 songs that they playlisted for me for Spotify were not singles, whereas Apple Music has been a little bit more faithful to what is the song that is my current single. So in that case, yeah, the streaming services, they kind of do what they want, but that has no bearing on terrestrial radio in terms of what gets played or your chart position. So anyways, that was a lot of information, but hopefully that helps.
So Marcel said that his series is called Soul, Jazz, and Fedoras.
Nice.
So like fedora hats, because Marcel and Marcus, the Anderson brothers with their hats, they're just like, undefeated. So Soul, Jazz, and Fedoras. So can they just Google that, or should they look on Facebook? Drop everything in the chat, Marcel.
Let us know, Marcel.
Yeah. So I think that's all for Ask Adam. Marcel is going to put more info in the chat for everyone to come check him out.
Very cool.
And then I saw that Edgar Correa said, because everyone was talking about they were going to Majace for next year.
Yeah.
And Edgar Correa said that he won tickets.
That's so cool.
So you won tickets you were there this year and you won tickets for next year, like while you were there.
And if you haven't heard yet, a certain somebody may be there next year. Wink, wink. And also, it is moving to Raleigh, Durham. So it was in Asheville the last several years, but it's now going to be in Raleigh, Durham. It's going to be easier to get there. Flights are going to be cheaper. So put it on your calendar. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be an awesome, awesome lineup, and looking forward to it.
So a Matthew Mitchell, it looks like he's holding a guitar in his photo.
Okay.
Says, hey, Adam, long time no see.
Yeah, what's up? How you
Hope all is
doing?
well with you.
Awesome.
Joyson Roach says he won VIP tickets. Dang, Edgar.
Dang, you living large. Living large. I like it. I like
But
it.
yeah, that's all we have for our Ask Adams. Everyone, was just resulting to our Publix talk.
right.
And so, but that's all that we have for right now.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, honey. We will
Thank
see you next week.
See you guys next week. Bye.
All right. As I mentioned, next up is Raleigh Durham, October 6th. Grab your tickets. Yoshi's is now on sale October 27th, and the Addicts Theater Norfolk is on sale. So we hope to see you. We've got about, 6, 7. We got 7 more events until the Christmas tour. So we want to see you out at all of these. Appreciate you guys so much for your support. And I figure we'll take you out with a little bit more Earth, Wind, and Fire in honor of September 21st. But real quick, just want to remind you, if you want to support the show, we make it real easy. Go to Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. You can click the link in the description. It'll take you there. You can do stars through the Facebook portal. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. Episode 120. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in on the 21st of September. It's been so much fun hanging out with you on episode 120. We'll be back live again next week in studio. Appreciate y'all. Catch you later.